a Japanese urban legend transformed into an idol who spits water at her fans. Brace yourselves for a bizarre episode of Otaku Falls, where we dive into the strange world of the 14th generation toilet Hanako-san. For those unfamiliar with the depths of Japan's otaku culture, there are some intriguing personalities that might catch you off guard. That's why I decided to create this video series to explore these unique individuals. This is Otaku Falls. As you may have noticed from previous personalities I've covered, Japan has no shortage of idols who use quirky themes to stand out or brand themselves in a specific niche. Some of these themes are relatively simple, even for those unfamiliar with Japanese culture. But then, you stumble upon a name like 14th generation toilet Hanako-san and think, wait, what? 14th generation toilet Hanako-san is actually the official English name of a Japanese underground solo idol. In Japanese, she's referred to as known, which roughly translates to 14th generation Hanako-san of the toilet. And no, she's not actually a toilet. Her name references the famous ghost story of Hanako-san, a legendary figure in Japanese folklore who is said to haunt the bathrooms of elementary schools. It's a strange but fitting name for an idol with a ghostly, eerie persona. When you hear Hanako speak in interviews, she comes across as soft-spoken and shy, a stark contrast to her eerie appearance. But if you attend one of her concerts, you'll witness a completely different side of her, an intense side that'll leave you shocked. Fans of Hanako describe her performances as wild and chaotic, where her ghastly persona comes to life in a way that's both captivating and terrifying. At her shows, she's known to spit water on her fans, adding to the shock factor and making her concerts a truly unique experience. Hanako's music is nothing short of aggressive, to say the least. Her performances are known for being quite the spectacle, but before diving into her live shows, let's first understand what Hanako represents. To do that, we need to delve into the Japanese urban legend of Hanako-san. Tower no Hanako, or Hanako of the toilet, is a well-known ghost in Japanese folklore. She is said to haunt the girls' bathroom in elementary schools across Japan. While the legend varies slightly by region, the general method to summon her remains the same. You go to the girls' bathroom on the 3rd floor of the school, knock 3 times on the first cubicle, and ask, "Hanako-san, are you there?" If you listen closely, you'll hear a faint reply, "Yes." Then, if you dare to open the door, a girl with a bobbed haircut and a red skirt will pull you into the toilet, possibly dragging you straight to hell. The origins of Tower no Hanako are murky, but her story is believed to have started in the late 1940s. The common thread in most variations of the legend is that Hanako died tragically in the 3rd stall of the 3rd floor bathroom. One theory suggests she was a victim of her father's abuse, dying from a fatal injury. Another version claims she was a student trying to escape a murderer, but was found and killed in the bathroom. Some even say she perished in a bombing raid during World War II while playing hide-and-seek in the school's restroom. There's also a chilling theory that Hanako is based on a real-life tragedy from the 1930s, in which a girl named Akuko, along with her siblings, was killed by their mother, who had lost her mind after discovering her husband's infidelity. Despite its grim nature, the legend of Hanako-san gained widespread attention in the 1980s. During the 90s, spooky school stories became a popular theme in Japanese media, with Hanako-san making appearances in movies and manga. Interestingly, she was sometimes portrayed as a benevolent spirit, a protector of children. However, no matter how she's depicted, the urban legend of Hanako-san remains deeply rooted in Japanese culture. Now that we've covered the background of the legendary Hanako, let's return to 14th generation toilet Hanako-san. According to her official website, She's portrayed as an elementary school student who haunts the fourth cubicle on the fourth floor of a bathroom at exactly 4 hours, 44 minutes, 44 seconds. She supposedly took her own life and became a yokai, a supernatural entity. If you haven't heard of yokai before, it's a broad term in Japan used to describe supernatural phenomena attributed to ghosts, demons, or shape-shifting creatures. Being a yokai herself, Hanako-san can be elusive, and finding detailed information about her wasn't easy. When she first appeared in 2013, she communicated by writing on a small board, staying true to her ghostly persona. At one point, she was even banned from Twitter, likely due to her habit of replying to fans with phrases like, "I'll kill you," which, oddly enough, her followers adored. As of 2023, Hanako claims she's 4,444 years old, basing her age on her favorite numbers. Time passing by doesn't seem to affect her, and in 2024, she'll still be 4,444 years old. And if you're wondering whether she's friends with other supernatural beings, the answer is no. Hanako has said she's not particularly interested in yokai, except for Kisaki Onna, another member of the Urban Legends Club. Before becoming an idol, Hanako was heavily into heavy music, including punk and rock. During her middle school years, she was an avid fan of the visual kei band Door Terror, known for their controversial lyrics, often playing with word meanings to sound provocative or addressing political themes. The band eventually broke up, but Hanako's love for that kind of music persisted. Visual kei, for those unfamiliar, is a Japanese music movement where the artists incorporate elaborate costumes, vibrant makeup, and sometimes even androgynous looks. It has a gothic, punk rock flair and tends to be associated with emotional and, at times, rebellious music. Hanako, being a fan of this genre, carries some of that rebellious spirit into her performances. Hanako's own music draws heavily from those influences, combining aggressive, high-energy rock with her macabre idol persona. Her lyrics are often dark, drawing on themes of death, the supernatural, and the eerie world she embodies. Some fans describe her music as cathartic, while others see it as an outlet for darker emotions, something that's not often found in the more traditional, polished idol groups Japan is known for. As a performer, Hanako breaks the mold of what it means to be a Japanese idol. Most idols present themselves as cute, innocent, and approachable. Hanako, on the other hand, embraces a more gothic, almost horror-themed image. Her on-stage persona is aggressive and confrontational, even as she maintains her timid and shy persona off-stage. The contrast makes her all the more intriguing to fans. Beyond her music, Hanako's live performances are what make her truly stand out. Her concerts are chaotic, wild, and unpredictable. It's not uncommon for her to spit water on her fans, adding an element of shock and surprise to the show. For those unfamiliar with underground idol culture, this might seem bizarre, but in Japan, such antics are often embraced by hardcore fans. Hanako's fans, in particular, thrive on the intensity of her shows, and many consider her live performances to be an experience unlike any other in the idol world. In 2011, Hanako didn't go into much detail, but it seems that, like many other idols I've covered, her childhood was less than ideal. As a form of escape, she found solace in listening to bands like Door Terrorist. Interestingly, during her career, she ended up covering some of their songs. Little did she know, Ichiro, the vocalist of Door Terrorist, would eventually write a song specifically for her. That track, titled Takiro, can be found on her album Setoi Noi, which I'll touch upon a bit later. Hanako herself admitted that if middle school Hanako had known about this, she would have, and I quote, gone bald from excitement. As for why Hanako chose the idol path, she explained that, unlike some people who seem to be forced into the idol lifestyle or enter it without much passion, she genuinely wanted to become one. However, she wanted to make it her own thing. Choosing the underground route allowed her far more creative freedom. In many ways, this decision makes perfect sense, considering her unique persona. Hanako doesn't concern herself with arguments about music genres, simply stating that she plays aggressive music. While I'd say her style is a blend of death metal and punk, feel free to form your own opinions. Of course, we need to talk about Hanako's shows, which are, to put it mildly, wild. Known for being chaotic, she uses a variety of liquids and other props during her performances, such as flour, noodles, and fermented soybeans, better known as natto, showering her audience with them. Hanako doesn't shy away from a bit of violence either, which has led to several warnings from venue staff. She's even been banned from certain places due to the chaos she brings. Apparently, in her early years, her shows were even more destructive. She would break microphones and wreck the stage around her. Unfortunately, one of her fans got seriously injured during one of these performances, so she's since toned things down at least a little. For those who follow idol culture, you might know that after shows, idols usually offer their fans Polaroid pictures of themselves or pictures taken together with the fans. Hanako does this as well, but she also offers a rather unique experience, the chance to get choked by her. Yes, you heard that right. Over her 10-plus-year career, Hanako has released a number of albums. The most recent one, as I mentioned earlier, is titled Siatoin Noi, which translates to World Toilet Day in English. And yes, World Toilet Day is indeed a thing, at least in Japan. It falls on November 19th, which also happens to be Hanako's actual birthday. She named the album Siatoin Noi so everyone would remember that fun fact. But there's another album of hers with a title you definitely won't forget anytime soon. As you might guess, Hanako's music isn't filled with typical idol themes of cute or bubbly happiness. One of her songs, for example, is titled Papa ga Nagoro, which roughly translates to Papa punches me. As I mentioned in part 1, there's a theory that the original Torno Hanako character, upon whom Hanako bases her persona, was violently killed by her father. This could explain the dark themes of her music, although we can only hope it's not reflective of Hanako's own life experiences. Hanako did reveal that her personality used to be much darker. Surprisingly, it wasn't music that helped lift her spirits, it was Kamen Rider. Apparently, Ichiro from Door Terrorist recommended the series to her, and it quickly became one of her favorite things. Another factor that helped brighten her mood was the pandemic. Hanako explained that being forced to stay at home allowed her to fully enjoy her newfound hobby. As an introverted person, she didn't mind the lockdowns at all. In fact, she welcomed the break from her exhausting show schedule. When asked why she likes Kamen Rider so much, Hanako explained that the hero of the series doesn't betray her ideals, unlike real people. To her, Kamen Rider is her personal hero, always there to protect her. She even went on to say that the show is a savior for lonely people, and if you ever feel lonely, you should seek it out too. While Hanako primarily plays shows in Japan, particularly at venues like Heaven's Door in Sengen-jaya, she has started gaining fans overseas. Recently, she's even performed shows in the US. So, keep an eye on her Instagram for tour updates if you're interested in catching one of her live performances. And if you do get the chance to see her live, don't forget to greet her with an enthusiastic "Ohahano," but be sure not to wear anything too expensive, as her shows can get messy. That wraps up today's video, everyone. Hanako-san is probably the most niche idol I've covered on this channel, but she's certainly one of the most fascinating. Honestly, I wish there were more to say about her, as she's a truly intriguing figure. I know many of you have been asking for this video, so I hope it lives up to your expectations. If anyone has more to add about Hanako-san, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I always appreciate your input. Thank you so much for your continued support, and until next time, take care.